Good evening. Welcome back to Where They Are Sleep. It's another episode of the Parliament. Stocky, how's your weekend been, mate?
Yeah, so, mate, so. Uh, yeah, us just just the one game for me on Saturday, but I watched both of them today.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Uh, well, there's only three of us this week at a minute, so let's bring him in. Samir, how's it going?
It's all we need. It's all we need. All we need is three of us. Get the rest of them. Nah, but
Yeah,
it's all.
well,
I'm all good.
jet setting Jack's off on his trips again, and not quite sure where John is this week. But yeah, it's just us three for now. John might join us in a bit.
Yeah, we go again.
Yeah, might as well get straight into it. Little bit of a derby for Stocks. Stocky's new hometown against Leighton Orient yesterday. Not the best result for Orient. I didn't manage to catch any of the game, but it hasn't been a great start for the O's this season. And it's not looking like we're going to get a
Nah,
season similar to last, to be fair.
nah, not good. Imagine having disappointment on two games. I couldn't go to this one because I was at West Ham, and neither ended very well.
Oh, double disappointment on the same on the same day.
Uh,
Yeah, well, hopefully things improve for the Orient. We'll do our usual thing. We'll roll straight into Bolton because I watched probably 60-ish minutes of this. I chose this as my early game Saturday, and I have to say Bolton were excellent. Like they were absolutely superb. I put a tweet out at half time that they were attacking with so much pace that the linesman pulled his hammy because he had to go off injured after about 35 minutes. But yeah, Bolton were absolutely exceptional yesterday. It could have seriously been about 8, 9, 10. And in the end, I only switched over at like 60, 70 minutes because the Liverpool Everton game had a little bit more jeopardy at the end, and this game was well done and dusted by that point.
That's fair.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jack's not here
well,
to hear me praising this side so much.
We'll only be back. He'll be back when he's losing again. Fuck's sake, Jack.
Obviously, it's the only home game he hasn't been to this season.
Yeah. I think there's a problem there, Jack.
if there was ever confirmation that the football gods are dickheads, that's it.
Yeah.
That is exactly it. But I know Jack was delighted about this because this is their derby. It's the big derby for them. So massive win for Bolton. We will skip straight over Southampton because John's not here and none of us watched any of that. Not looking good for them either, though, sitting 19th in the table after 6 games, only 1 win from 6. Difficult start for Southampton. But that said, let's get to the Premier League. Liverpool, Everton, early game, Saturday morning or afternoon, whatever you want to call it. I didn't get to see much of it. I watched the last half hour, and Everton looked like they could have nicked another goal, and Liverpool looked a little bit disjointed again. But from what I hear, the first half was probably their best performance of the season. And surprise, surprise, they went back to exactly what they were doing last season and played a midfield three of Gravenberch, Schloboslai, and McAllister. So, yeah, did anybody get to catch much of this one?
Nah. I was I was at West Ham early, but I'll go into that earlier on. So I didn't catch any of this game. I was just sort of looking it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched. But I was in and out. To be fair, not like didn't watch the full 90. Yeah, like you said, Liverpool did look good in that first half. I don't know. Yeah, there was something different about them. But I think it's been like that with them pretty much the whole season so far now. The second half, they always come out a different team. I don't know what it is with Liverpool, but yeah, in that first half, they were electric, and you didn't think Everton would ever get back into it. You think there'll be more goals in it for Liverpool. But yeah, they went into it 2-0 half time, and then yeah, a different Liverpool side came out the second half. And as you saw, Mitch, you said you got in on the 60th minute. Yeah, it was pretty much all Everton up until then. I feel like Jack Grealish said at the end of the game, he felt like the referee was just playing up to the crowd a bit much. So I think that there was a certain point where the referee was getting like too much involved in the game, and it's kind of like ruining it for Everton mostly. Because like I think there was at one point Everton tried to take a quick free kick. Referee said no, like it's not back, and he's giving I think Shrewsbury Hall, he's giving him a yellow for trying to take a quick free kick because everyone want to move the game like quite quick. They've done it a few times beforehand. They took quick free kicks, and the referee was alright with that. But there was this one instance where the referee just said no, like, and then it's bizarre because no one's actually seen that. No one's actually seen anyone get a yellow card for trying to take a quick free kick. Like these referees have had enough of us trying to slow the game down, so now we want to move it quicker. You've said no, I don't like that yellow card. It was weird. It was weird for me personally. I think Jack Grealish as well, obviously, it was weird for him because he got onto the referees at the end of the game. But yeah, apart from that, I just thought it weren't the greatest of games. But I think that's just down to the referee as well. It's just like like it's like I said earlier, he played up to the Anfield crowd. I don't know if you lot saw much of it, but like yeah, it was great. There was chaos at the end of the game because of that one yellow card.
Yeah, no, I didn't see too much of it. It looked obviously I don't want to comment too much because I didn't watch the full game, but it just still feels a bit like every time Slot tries to imprint his style on this side, it starts to look disjointed because Liverpool have come out in the first half playing pretty much exactly what Klopp would have had, apart from the new additions, but the same system. And then as soon as he's brought in the new boys, well, some of the new boys like Wirtz and Frimpong came on and Isak came on, it just didn't look like the same side. From what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, that's pretty much what happened.
It's like I said, it worked in the first half. Like if Liverpool were 3-4 up, then okay, gladly take that. But like it feels like Liverpool being 2-0 up doesn't help them as much now. Like because like I said, in the first half they look like they've had since the beginning of the season. They look electric in that first half, and then it's almost like they come out a different side. So that the system is working in the first half, but the second half is just like they pretty much go to sleep because, like you said, Everton could have come back into it 2-2 again, just like everyone else in the last few games now. Yeah. I've come back 2-2, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, no, so it seems to be a lot of weird officiating going on in the Premier League at the minute, but these things kind of happen. I don't like to whinge about officials too much when teams don't win the game. It always feels like sort of sour grapes. I only tend to voice my opinions on referees if I've watched a game and sort of say it's a Newcastle game, I'll never really complain if we haven't won the game. So. No one will hear it because it's coming from a better place. Me and Stocky used to do the same thing when we were managing. We would not, if we'd won the game and the referee had been terrible, we'd make sure that we writ some kind of statement into the league if we felt it was warranted. But if you lose the game, it's completely pointless because everybody will look at it coming from a bitter point of view just because you've lost the game.
Yeah, so, until the players have gone home. Then we get hammered and complain about him incessantly.
Oh yeah, we'll complain about it with him, but not to anybody outside or make it sort of known to the league or anything like that. We always made sure that point was always made off the back of a win, so that it actually held a little bit more gravitas rather than it being, well, you lost, so you're being bitter.
But I don't think it was like too bad of officiating. It was just that like one instance where it's just something so small, but it large at the same time. Like I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's just like you've given a yellow card for someone trying to take a quick free kick. Like I've just never ever seen that. Like
I don't know. There is certain rules. It's been mentioned on another thread, and I think the quick free kick is at the referee's discretion.
But that's the thing.
If he's done it in other instances, I think generally you have to ask, don't you?
It's a weird one.
direct free kick. So it went like a direct free kick. It's like literally.
Yeah, no, I don't think it matters though, because once the referee's blown his whistle, the game is stopped until the referee blows his whistle again. So you do have to ask if you're going to take a quick one. But if the referee's done the whistle in the air thing, you then have to wait for him to blow it.
Yeah, but every time though, I don't. Like,
I haven't watched the game, so I haven't seen it for every time. I just know that, as a matter of fact, and in the law, if the referee does the hold the whistle in the air, you have to wait for the whistle. And 9 times out of 10, if it's like in a position, and from what I've seen, it is in a position where he can pass it into the attacking third, into a dangerous area.
Yeah.
You would normally have to ask to take a quick free kick. If you're in your own half, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But if you're playing the ball into a dangerous area from where you are, normally you either have to wait for the whistle or ask for a quick one.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know.
It's not yellow card worthy unless he done it 3 or 4 times, or he was told not to do it and then he done it and he pulled it back, and then he was told not to do it again, then he did it again. So without seeing the full thing or bigger part of the game, I'm not 100% sure why it was given.
100%, and that's why we need to hear from referees, because we don't know that. In our minds right now, it's just you've given him a yellow card because that's just like you're just being petty now. But if he's come out and said, "Oh yeah," like you said, he's done it 2-3 times, then yeah, okay, cool. Because we're not going to see everything. Yeah, we're not going to see everything.
It get up on that dreadful show on Sky, the Ref Watch one.
Oh yeah, 100% they'll have it on Ref Watch. But if you don't want to wait for Ref Watch, Spurs Kings TV tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Chris will be on, and I'm sure Chris will have a good explanation as to why it was a yellow card for Dewsbury.
I think Ref Watch is first though. It's like AM.
Yeah, no one's up at them times. Just watch us in the evening. Forget.
Who's more entertaining, me and Mitch or fucking Dermot Gallagher?
Steve Warner.
Or
whoever it is.
It is Steve Warner, couldn't it? What's his name?
Yeah, Stephen Warner.
He's that.
I didn't even. Do you know what? That's one of them shows that I never actually realised that it's a show with a set time. I thought it's just clips that they put out every now and again, because I've never seen it ever. The full thing. I've never seen the full thing ever.
No, they got their own program there. You click select, you see Ref Watch is at a certain time to this time. Like it's actually an actual program.
Times has changed.
Anyone else think it's really sad that there's a Ref Watch program?
Yeah.
It seems all these they need a voice after they retire, don't they? They just don't want to vanish. They need a voice. They need to come out and like if you see Dermot right now, he's just looking. He's on his last legs, man. He just wants to.
They need to bring some more recent refs in though, because you're bringing in guys that haven't refed for 10, 15 years. The laws have completely changed pretty much. It's a different game now.
You ain't keeping up. You ain't keeping up with that.
Bonkers, to be fair. But one other thing I do want to talk about on this game, because I've seen some wild shouts on this guy since his start to the season. I've seen Vieira comparisons. I've seen madness going on. Like, he's had a fantastic start to the season, and he was quality last year. But I think Liverpool fans are getting well beyond their station with this one.
Is it Liverpool supporters that you saw tweeting this, mate?
It's in a couple of threads I'm in. People comparing him to Vieira and stuff, and I'm just like, what is going on here?
I need to know ages. How old are these people?
No, they're all similar ages to us.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah. So the Liverpool fans from the rival show on Wednesday are all in and around a similar age. They would have fully seen Vieira.
Guys, if you watch the game, I blame one person for this. Ali McQuest. Oh my flipping days! Did you see the goal back?
Yeah. It's a nice goal. It's a nice finish.
It's a nice goal. Thank you very much. He was like, "Oh my god, what a goal!
Yeah.
Oh, best I've ever seen in my life."
He's an excitable man, is Ali.
Oh, he exaggerated it so much. I think that's what got into people's heads. I'm like, this is the most it's not a simple goal, but it's just like
it's a nice finish. Have you seen it? Have you seen it as well, Stocks?
No, I've not stumped up the enthusiasm for match of the day.
If you've seen it, Stocks, you want to jump off your seat and be like,
yeah, it's decent. It like comes across him for like kind of over his right shoulder, and he helps it on into the far corner.
Yeah,
it
sounds classy.
It's a very decent finish, but it's not like out of this world or anything like that.
Exactly. It's not something you've not seen before.
Well, do you know
I've
what?
seen that type of finishes.
Remember, Coisty was a striker's striker. He was
Hmm.
about finishing, so that's probably why he's excited about it.
But like I've seen him for a while now, and he exaggerates these goals. Like I've seen deflected goals. What a goal! I'm like, he's scored a deflection. He scored a deflection, right? He's like, yeah, what a freaking goal! I'm just like, bro, you're taking it a bit too far. And I liked him, but now he's just taking these goals a bit like, he's taking it too much. Like you said, Mitch, it's a nice goal.
It's a nice goal. I've scored a couple similar in my time, and it feels good when you flick them in. But it is just like just change the direction of the ball a bit. You don't really do an awful lot with it. It's not like magic.
But it's not like the best goal we've ever seen. This is how he was exaggerating that goal at the time.
Martinelli's finish was better for me.
Yeah, and we took it as cool, and like whoever was commentating was calm, cool, collective. It weren't like what a fucking goal. No, it was just the moment. He liked the moment because we equalized, but it weren't about the goal at all. Like Martinelli was better, like you said, but Ali McQuest was absolutely just like bigging this goal up like it's one of the best goals of the season.
I'll have to watch back to see Ali McCoist's reaction because I don't think the highlights I watched was Ali McCoist.
You got to listen to the TNT version. Yeah, TNT version. Sorry, you got to listen to the TNT highlight version.
I must admit, while we mentioned TNT, I don't really watch their games. Like I can, like if I want to, I could go down a pub or something. But I find that Fletch so annoying. I just don't like their output. Cole and Crouch before the game is all right, but Fletcher, he annoys me so much.
I don't think he's that bad. Like Ali's starting to get on my nerves. I used to like him. I loved him. But I just feel like with some of these goals, it's just like I said, it's exaggerating. I think Fletcher's all right. He doesn't get too excited like Ali McQuist. And I reckon he sits there and he's like, bro, are you serious? It's a great goal.
Yeah. I don't tend to watch too much build-up or match reaction stuff, to be honest. I'm normally just
it's during the game
and out. Oh, is Fletch the other commentator, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
You know the stats man.
You don't really notice it.
Who sucks off any top 6 team, but everyone else is sort of plucky underdogs, that kind of stuff. Just typical plays to the big boys. Everyone else is shit. Or
there's always one
the
that
European games.
No, I get what you mean.
For European games, he's all like, "Oh yeah, the English League." Like, if it's not Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Inter Milan or PSG, that like, come on, mate.
I get you. You want someone less biased.
Well, that's a eloquent way of putting it.
There's always one that goes a little bit too far with one of the sides. Even like Bournemouth Newcastle earlier, he was going on like we were getting battered, and in all fairness, neither team were doing anything much.
Was that Glenn Murray or the other bloke?
I don't know. I'm rubbish with names with commentators and people like that, unless I fully recognise the voice.
I'm not gonna lie, they just throw anyone now. They just throw anyone in there. Like, it could have been me.
Commentating's like wrestling commentators. That's all it is, because they portray it every game to be like a goodie and a baddie, or the big team and the little team.
Yeah,
and like it's like they want to big someone up so they can knock them down if someone gets a goal. That's all it is. And I don't find it very entertaining. Just tell me what's happening in the game. The co-com, add some professional nouns that we might not know.
Yeah.
Like, don't repeat things and create a story. Football's the story itself.
Yeah, there we go.
They're all trying to get their moment, though, isn't they? They want that viral commentary moment. There's a few of them over the years that you'll never forget, and everybody's looking for that next one.
There we go. You can see them biting.
If a game's toot, it's toot. Yeah. Don't make things up.
Yeah, like you can hear him literally going, "Oh, what's it got?" And the ball's gone flipping wide as fuck. like you can hear him like biting. They want that moment, but it's like, no, bro. The ball's over the flipping bar. Like you can hear they want it so bad, and it's just like, like they want that moment, and you're just not gonna get that again.
Everybody's searching for that moment, but
honestly.
Right, okay. Unfortunately for you, Stocks, we're on to the next one.
That's all right.
You was there from what because I watch. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's basically it shows the games and shows little bits of commentary throughout the games at the 3 o'clock. And it sounded like Palace were on top for the main part. And
That's ridiculous.
you didn't you weren't all 3 goals from corners in the end as well?
First half.
No.
Oh, the first two were their first and your goal were though, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Mitchell's was across or something. Yeah, but go on, talk us through it, Stocks.
Well, first of all, I missed the Liverpool game. I didn't watch any of that because I was at one of the first protests for Brady and Sullivan out.
Oh, okay.
geez.
I was going to furnish with you some pictures, but I didn't have the time today. It was a modest start, but it's the first one, and there will be more. Yeah, but we'll get into that another week. But the game itself, West Ham weren't that bad, to be honest.
Okay.
I thought a draw would be more of a fair result.
Yeah.
Palace had more punch, and they definitely had more punch. But I thought in the second half, West Ham really dominated the ball. It's just our defending that keeps letting us down, and you know from yourself, like we've either watched or been involved in football for so long. If we've got to score at least 2 or 3, and I think in other games, you know, as soon as you concede, and you know, oh god, the heads are dropped.
Yeah.
But they kept going. We got a decent goal, and we was really knocking at the door. And the only thing Palace really did in the second half was get that goal. Again, it wasn't great defending. It was a bit better from us, definitely a bit better, but still not nowhere near good enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get that. Sounds like there's a few little promising shoots coming through though, rather than it being.
I don't know. Do you know when it feels a little bit too little, too late?
Yeah.
I think it's like that. To be honest, you know what I'm like. I'm not for chopping people, and I don't think I'd get rid of him yet. But well, I've already complained about, like I've said, I was on the protest this week. There was like a full press release from the club, sort of refuting, or because a supporters board said there was a letter and there was no confidence in the board, so they've replied to that, and they were just debunking all these things, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're really pleased with Potter. He's the man to go forward." And then the next day they were caught having a chat with Nuno.
Oh shit!
So that's the kind of level of people we're talking about.
I like that.
To say one thing and do completely the other.
Yeah,
and
I had the Nuno shout.
And another one, we protested outside the director's entrance, and they both sort of snuck in unmarked cars, if you know what I mean. Like, didn't have the bottle to face it.
That can only go on so long though before they have to. They're going to be forced to face it at some point. So
yeah, well,
hopefully it makes a little bit of an impact and hits home, because I know your pain with stuff like this. We spoke about it previously. It's not good when you can see the top of your club not acting in the best interest for the football side of the club. So yeah, it's a horrible place to be in.
Yeah. Oh well.
I want to talk about one player. This man, Tyrick Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, he's
Okay,
been putting in consistent performances for a good few seasons now.
Yeah.
And he's now sort of starting to add a little bit more to the top end of the pitch. So he's doing a little bit more in the final third. And the goal yesterday sort of highlights that a little bit. But my main thing for this is, why do you think this guy has never really got even a look in for England? Because there's been at times we've been begging for a left back, and he's still not been put in. And it's madness to me, because he's always been solid at the back. So why not give him a little try?
I really don't know, mate. I suppose Southgate had his favourites that he would depend upon, and like so Trippier would often play left back and things like that, which I don't necessarily agree with. Trippier's all right at left back for a right footer. Don't get me wrong, but me personally, I like a bit more balance.
Yeah.
I found it a little bit harsh, but I suppose I'm trying not to sound like too bitter about it, but sometimes players just don't get the recognition they get if they're outside certain teams.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous because he won the FA Cup last year.
That's what I'm saying. You got the Adam Whartons in there.
Yeah, no, but I feel like now we're at a point where he's kind of missed the boat.
He's missed it, yeah.
Because now you've got like Lewis Hall's coming through, Miles Lewis Skelly's coming through. Like so, a couple of other left backs have now come through, so you've got legitimate left backs for England managers to pick. But like Stocky was saying, you had times where you had a Kieran Trippier, maybe you had a Reece James, maybe you had someone else just being shoehorned in at left back instead of just putting a left back at left back. And he was at times probably the best English left back fit in the league a couple of times over the last 3 or 4 years, and never got a look in. It just baffles me.
I think it was the last competition, or maybe it was competition before that. We were down to like bare bones. We didn't have no left back, and Luke Shaw's missed pretty much the whole season, and he got picked for I think it was the World Cup, but like his name never really got mentioned, and I was hearing names like the guy from Luton. The guy that played for Luton when Luton were in the Premier League, they had that left back.
What, Leif Davis?
I don't know. I don't think that was his name. Some guy from when Luton were in the Premier League, they had a left back, and he was getting mentioned ahead of Mitchell. Like, I couldn't even believe it because, like you said, he's just been consistent. Barely any injuries, if I'm wrong, but I don't remember him getting too many injuries. He's just constant at left back for Crystal Palace. So I don't know. Yeah, like Stock said, it could be about the whole playing for Palace thing, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of teams in the squad.
Southgate liked that club feel at international level, didn't he? So there were certain players he would pick regardless, just for continuity and team building and stuff like that. But I'm like, come on, this is like the England setup, best of the best. If he's playing well, I think there's still something about you need to pick players on form. I know you have your favourites, but if someone's playing really well, he could perform even better internationally than he could at club level.
It's either that or he's not. I don't think he was at the games. He probably weren't even at the Palace games too much. Because if I'm an England manager and I'm going and I'm watching Palace and stuff like that, I'm picking him. Like personally. And I'm struggling to get left backs. Like, I'm definitely looking at him.
Evening, Callum. Good to have your input. Good to hear that you've been listening in from afar.
Yeah, I think he's Jack's right.
Can we put that question back to another week?
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Jack's informant. That's what that is.
That's exactly it.
Fair play, Callum.
Let's just say it's been a difficult week for those that are currently on the pod.
For the Premier League teams, we should add.
No, because Southampton lost as well, so it's only really Jack. Jack's got a lot to shout about this week, especially with it being Wigan as well. So
yes, and being hammered on holiday.
But yeah, good to have you, Callum. Thanks for joining us. Right, next game. Absolute madness at Old Trafford. So Chelsea go down to 10 within 5 minutes of the game. And then for me, what happened next from the Maresca's just bonkers. Never seen it before in my life. Don't think we'll ever see it again.
Yeah.
And he it was unfathomable what he did. They were a goal down at the time, and then he brought off Cole Palmer, so they basically only had one attacker on the pitch at the time,
In
and
the
he
space of
used
like 3
three
minutes.
of his subs to get to that point. And yeah, somehow they nearly got back in the game. Like that's how bad Man United are.
Yeah.
That they leveled the game out with men just before half time, with Casemiro getting sent off, and Chelsea very nearly got back into it. But yeah, what a crazy game of football this was.
No, but let's not go like and say crazy because people are going to think, "Wow, what a game I've missed." Listen, it was still a bore fest. Let's be real. Both
Yeah,
teams.
no, but it was crazy. It wasn't like a great game of football. It
Red
was
card,
just
yeah.
bonkers.
But I'm just thinking of imagine I was a first time listener and I didn't watch the game and I'm hearing you say, "Yeah, it was crazy." I'm thinking, "Oh, was that a good game?" Yeah, it was an absolute bore fest for two players to go down to 10 men. I have never seen two trash teams like Man United and Chelsea. I swear to God, they're fixing. I think we need to put in a petition to move these games to 3 p.m. because every time we watch them, it's absolutely trash. Like United, they granted United. What time did Casemiro get sent off? 45th plus
Just
5.
literally seconds before half time.
They've had 40 minutes of Chelsea being down to 10 men. I saw absolutely nothing from United. Like there was no threat. They weren't like what's his name? What's his, the Chelsea second goalkeeper? I didn't see any saves. I didn't see too much from him. I honestly, man, that was the worst game of football I've ever seen in my life. If I think that was anyone,
I think that's a slight
it
exaggeration.
was the worst. Mitch, it was the worst. I was
No, it's not the worst game of football.
Oh, just 3 goals. It's not that bad.
I thought it had intrigue, but it was mental. He's back, Iniesta.
Iniesta.
2 shows in a day. Thank you, sir. Good to see you
You know
back.
what? I mean, ability-wise, everyone was just trash. There was no one standout player. Everyone was trash. There you go, Jenny. Thank you for that.
I didn't catch it. Was it at least competitive? Like teams can be of poor quality, but they can still compete, and it would be an entertaining game. I was on the train, so I was never going to see this.
So for me, second half for me sort of showed that there wasn't any real standout players on either side.
Yeah.
Because every single time a game, when it comes 10 to 10, 10 against 10, I would expect 1 or 2 players either on either side or on both sides to stand up and really perform because there's a little bit more space, you get a little bit more time, and there should be someone that takes over the game. And I was sat there in about the 80th minute thinking, how are both teams down to 10 and still there's not a single player out here that's just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and took control of it and took it away from the other side? No one did it.
Chelsea took their 2 candidates for that off, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, because I think Palmer's got an injury, which kind of saves Maresca a bit because he's the one I would have expected when Man United went down to 10 and it was 10v10 to just step up and think, I'm just going to play everywhere and do everything and win this game on my own. Because there's so many players over the years, like your De Bruyne's, your Gerrards, your Vieiras, your Scholes, that would do that kind of thing and drag your team through. And no one was doing it. Like I was just like, what is going on here? Why is no one really standing out when there's so much more space on the pitch? And that was the most annoying thing for me. I still thought it was an interesting game because there was that I watched certain games through sort of geeky glasses of how people do tactical tweaks in different scenarios. I was intrigued by what Maresca was going to do when United went down to 10 to try and get back the advantage going forward and stuff like that. So I was still intrigued by the game. I didn't think it was a horrendous game of football. I was just shocked that none of the players stood up and thought, right, I'm just going to go and win this on my own now.
I think but you explained it perfectly well. That's how I looked at it. I just looked at it like no one stood up for me personally. And like that for me, that's just almost of a bore fest because, like you said, everyone's down to 10. Both teams are down to 10. I don't think tactics should be looked at as much when both teams are down to 10 men. It should be almost of like a chaos. Everyone just do what you need to do. to win the game or get some goals at least.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything from both teams. And granted, Chelsea's obviously took off their three attackers, like you said, all front three. By the way, I personally would have kept on Neto. I know he doesn't really have the too much of an end product, but he could still cause you that chaos.
I think good outlet pace and a bit of dribbling.
Yeah,
You kind of think that you could plop him in at wing back. He could get up, he could get down, he could be an outlet while you're 11 against 10. But
exactly.
I think I was going to slate Maresca if Palmer didn't get injured. I thought he had just made that sub off his own back. And I think this time he's been slightly unfortunate because he's thought, right, I'm going to sacrifice the two players I'm going to sacrifice from the first subs when Sanchez got sent off, and then Palmer goes and gets injured 20 minutes later, which then means he's in a situation where he's kind of got to make another sub, and he hasn't really got a proper attacking outlet, Premier League ready attacking outlet to bring Palmer off for. So I think he's a little bit fortunate in that respect, and I think he did quite well of getting Chelsea back into the game a little bit second half with what he had on the bench. And I was fully prepared to slate him if it wasn't an injury to Palmer and he just made that decision off his own back.
You had
Chelsea down to bare bones.
Yeah. Actually, to sort of go against my first point again, this is both of the points I've just made. Actually, one player stood out ever so slightly more than the rest, and that was Reece James.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I've seen him tactically. He must have been told to do it to stay at right back and play as a right back or a wing back, because he's inverted so many times, and he's done it at the wrong time. Where here was the moment that it felt a little bit like Maresca should have told him just to go and get on the ball wherever he wanted to. But he just getting on it wide. He was putting in some break crosses. He was trying to overdo a few bits because no one else was doing anything. So he's the one that kind of tried to do it, but he didn't really have the quality to take the game away from Man United. Or he wasn't in the positions to do it. One of the two.
I got to rewind on that one as well. That's true that you brought up his name, because I did say to a Chelsea fan yesterday that he was their best player. But yeah, it weren't like a wow moment though. It weren't like Reece James was the best player. Like he
wasn't like miles out. He was the only one you could see who was trying to do a little bit more than normal to get Chelsea back into the game. But he was just out wide at right back the whole time, and it was like you normally invert. Why are you not inverting?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit weird for me. But
so who do we look at in this game? Do we look at Man United more than we look at Chelsea? Of course.
I just think both teams are at a similar level now. I just don't think there's any all of the Chelsea's standout player came off injured. So at that point, I think everything else in the two teams is much of a muchness. I think that's why it just plateaued so much.
Yeah,
because there's not that much between them, I don't think.
Yeah.
The only other player that you could say that potentially could be a standout, but he's a standout because of how much he gets around the pitch, is Caicedo. He's not going to rip a game away from a team with attacking contributions. So.
No.
And I think that's what we saw. Both went down to 10 and it just plateaued at 10 versus 10 because they're very similar quality sides. I don't think either side was great, to be honest.
I think that's poor on Chelsea's part then. If you want to say, you're compared to Man United and they're a club, after winning the World Cup, want to be in the title race. But you're looking at United, who are closer to relegation. And now we're saying, which I agree with you, that they are closer to United. Which that's not a good look on Chelsea at all.
Do you know what? I never thought I'd stick up for Chelsea, but you'd say after their changes, Chelsea had nowhere near the strongest team out, despite being down to 10. Whereas Man United probably had, considering they had 10, they probably had their best side out, didn't they?
Yeah. So
I suppose, is a little bit of mitigating circumstances in that. Maybe if, as you mentioned, Mitch, maybe if Palmer wasn't injured, it would be a different game, and he would have used that space. It was absolutely pouring it down as well. So it was no side tackles or anything like that.
Nothing.
No, not really.
Pathetic.
Nothing. That was and even that's what made me think it even more. Someone just take this game away from someone else. Because I always used to say when it was teeming down with rain and people were complaining, I always used to turn around and say, "This is when the real players come out."
Yeah.
No one did it. Like it's got a little bit more zip to the game.
Anyone have a dig or anything like that? Like
everyone came out clean. Everyone had clean shorts, clean, like no grass on the shorts, no nothing. Everyone...
It was frustrating, Stocks, because you get within 25 yards, you put one of them nice little daisy cutters that bounces across the grass and give the keeper a problem. None of that. And it was just annoying not to see.
A backspin or something.
Yeah.
Let nature take its course.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Game's gone.
Yeah. I think this next one is going to be brief because it was a horrific game. And I don't know if either of you watched it. But...
What, you don't want to talk about Fulham, though? I'm joking.
You didn't watch that, though? Did you not watch that then?
Yeah, I got in for that.
I watched that.
Yeah, it was all right. But I did watch this one as well.
Yeah.
Normally, I just talk through the whole Newcastle thing. So if you want to, because no one else has normally watched us. So if you want to do your bit.
So I was driving and I had Sky go on the background. So it's just like, if something happened, I'll click on it and then watch it for a second. And but yeah, it didn't sound like too much was happening in that game. It did not sound like too much was happening in that game. But I want to talk on how you started. Like your starting lineup, where Bruno on the bench, who else is on the bench? Joe Linton on the bench.
Yep.
What's that all about?
It's a long season.
It is a long season.
We've got 7 games from last weekend. 7 games in 23 days.
I was looking at it.
We've got to rest. We can't just go full strength till people start getting injured. So he's rotating. So I can't complain that he's rotating because every other season I've been saying, well, why are we not rotating? We've got to rotate at some point or we'll get injuries. So he's rotating. We didn't win the game, which is frustrating, but he's rotating the side. So fair play to him.
Because sorry, Stocks, but I don't think you're doing that against us. If you were facing us today, you ain't doing that.
Well, rotating? Of course not. We're rotating because we've got you next week. If we play Joe Linton and Bruno today, and then we don't play a midweek. Say we play them today and one of them picks up an injury because Bruno flew off for Brazil in the international break. He played last weekend. He played Thursday, and if he played again today and picked up an injury, it's only our fault. So why would you then play him again?
I'm going into this basically, is that not like a disrespect to Bournemouth?
No, it's not. It's not a disrespect to Bournemouth whatsoever. It's us having confidence in our squad for the first time in God knows how many years.
Which I like, but still, against a team like Bournemouth, you still need to play your best 11. Like, I don't see too many teams rotate and do that, especially against Bournemouth nowadays. Like, I don't see you put your best players on the bench against someone like Bournemouth. It's just, which was baffling for me. I understand, and then I thought maybe you've got a big game in the Carabao Cup, but you've got
we've got Barnsley, I think.
Barnsley or Bradford, one of them. And I'm like, okay, no. That's not the issue. You could play him in this game and then rest him in the game after, and he's got a whole week to rest till Sunday.
I'd still say, if you're Newcastle, you'd probably look at a more positive thing in that we've rested some players. Touch wood, they don't get injured, and you've gone away from home in the league, kept a clean sheet. And against the Bournemouth side, have been pretty in rude health recently. So I wouldn't be too negative about it. Obviously, you want to see your team win, but if you've rested people and you still kept a clean sheet, like seasons are built off clean sheets.
Yeah. Bear in mind, this is a Bournemouth team that have 10 points from 5 games, by the way.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it as in you've rested your best players. Looking at it like because it's Bournemouth. Because, like I said, if it was us, you're not doing that because obviously it's us.
Okay, right. So let me just come back on this resting the best players thing. Yeah, he's rested them for Bournemouth, but if you look at the way we've been playing all season, we've rested our best 2 midfielders. Well, 2 of our best midfielders because Tonali is probably our best midfielder and our best player wrapped into one. But he started a back five, which is probably the strongest back five we've put out so far this season. And statistically, away from just goals conceded, we've had the best defense in the league this season. So he's backed us not to concede away and potentially be able to nick something going the other way. He's got the first part right, but not the second part. And he's rested players in the midfield position that Bournemouth don't really play through that much.
Oh yeah, they're width.
They go quite direct and they go to the wide men. They haven't really got massive ball players in the middle. So if it was massive ball players in the middle that we needed to press and we needed to have really good quality in there, you probably would have seen Bruno. But he's back to Nali and Lewis Miley to have enough to compete with them. And I don't think their midfield overran our midfield at any point today.
No.
Although, that said, on 70-odd minutes, I was thinking if we bring Bruno on now, we win this game with that little bit of extra quality. He didn't. He chose not to, and we ended up with a draw. So it's a decent draw in the context of who it is, because Bournemouth are playing very well, and we haven't beat Bournemouth in the league since 2020. Eddie Howe has never beaten Bournemouth as a Newcastle manager. The last time Newcastle beat Bournemouth, Eddie Howe was the Bournemouth manager. So with all of that, it's a good point. It's annoying to draw it because our season hasn't started very well, and we're sitting on 5 points from 5 games or something.
Yeah, that's the big. See, that side of
6 points from 5 games. So
that side of things is a big issue as well. Like you said, you haven't really started. You ain't had a great start to the season. What, 1 win and the rest of draws?
1 win, 3 draws, 1 loss. The only thing we haven't been doing well this season is scoring goals.
Well, that's fair. You've just got your striker.
Yeah. You can't. Unfortunately, it's just things ain't that simple, and to get a new forward and it just click. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
The thing is, he was never meant to be the talisman. He's not meant to be the guy that scores all the goals.
It's Wissa.
Exactly.
You mentioned Vissa's injured. What's wrong? Because I hadn't really heard.
The only thing we've heard is he should be back. He should be in the race for Brighton after the international break.
Okay.
Right. Which is all well and good, but the international break's October. He's back in October. AFCON starts in December. We're going to get him for about 6 games. So, yeah, joy.
I have to get the young lad. Who's the raw one that scored against...
Ossola.
Yeah, get him going a bit more. He's busy. I kind of like him.
He is. I like him as a striker as well. I like him more as a wide player than a striker. But
I haven't really seen him out wide.
I think his biggest problem is when he's played like League Cup games against so-called lesser sides, he still hasn't really had much effect through the middle.
Okay.
So, he needs to... Midweek is his time to shine. If he shines midweek as the 9, because I'm positive he'll play as the 9 midweek, then that could potentially kickstart his career with us.
Okay.
Be interesting to see, though. Right. Today, Samir, your game. This was initially, if you hadn't have scored, you would have had a problem for one.
It would have been the end of the world. It would have been the world.
Feast or famine, Samir. Feast or famine.
Title race out the window. Arteta out. Banners would have been back. and rightly so.
But I would like to say on this that it felt like both managers kind of got it wrong today.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, as a manager, if you set up not to lose, if you set up the way Pep did, basically, and how he did, and especially in the last 20 minutes, you can't then concede in the last minute of the game because you failed. You failed to do what you tried to do. And then from the Arsenal point of view, to have a Man City do that and look pretty ineffective for a lot of the game in open play, that is not a good look for a side that want to win the title for me.
I thought the lineup, it was so worried. If Arteta had some of them players that he had in the second half, you could have got a win. Although I would like to point out, I think Arsenal win that comfortably. If it wasn't for, in a way, Donnarumma, I thought he was excellent.
Like I said, one
Like
of the
just
best
with his
keepers in the
presence
world.
in goal from all them corners.
Can
Yeah.
I just pause us for a second here, because this is an incredible
Yeah.
point, by the way, and I
Yeah.
couldn't have really put it any better myself.
I was reading that myself in the corner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the way, just rolling back to Newcastle at the minute, just so everybody's going to slate Voltameda. I've already seen people sending me MGK dancing
Yeah.
into
That's good.
the show. The weird thing is, it's coming from
Really?
Man United fans. Their striker, who was the most expensive of the window, hasn't even scored a goal yet, and they played Grimsby.
We see we brushed past that as well. By the way, we
So-
brushed past that. We didn't say nothing.
I'm trying to ignore it for now. I'll wait until we absolutely crush them to go full on with that. But yeah, what we're seeing at Newcastle is a transition away from the way we did play, where the 9 scored all the goals.
Yeah.
We need to start sharing the goals round,
Mm.
but it's going to be a transition. It would have been a slower transition than we're seeing at the minute if Wissa didn't get injured, because he would have been the guy that scored the goals. Voltameda would have played more of a bit part. He would have played either just off him and stuff like that. But at the minute, we're just going to have to, we're going express. We're going to have to, Voltameda drops in deep. Our press is completely different to what it has been previously. Voltameda drops in on whoever the 6 is. The 2 wide men push further up. And the problem we're seeing now is Gordon's our main left-sided player, who would be a massive goal threat with Voltameda dropping in. And we haven't yet seen Elanga and Voltameda play that much together either, because once he vacates them space, them 2 will fill the space he's vacated. So, yeah, that's why I'm not crashing out about it. I know it's a process. It's frustrating, but I know what's happening at the club and what we're trying to do tactically.
It's always weird, especially in this country, because like 9 out of 10 people will see him and automatically go, well, he's a centre forward. He's so not. I said this like weeks ago when we first started. Like, he likes to drop off and get the ball, face goal, not have his back to it. Yeah, it's very different. And yeah, it was a great point from Ginny, and yeah, backed up by yourself. It's a change, and like I said, these things just don't happen overnight.
No, they don't. We're not getting anyone close enough to him at the minute, and he's getting surrounded by players. And for someone who plays how he does, who likes the ball into his feet, and he's quite slow and languid in his movements, he'll get closed off quite easily. He's not like a pacey player who could be on their own up front. You could flip it over the top and they wouldn't look isolated. Whereas with Voltameda, if they get 3 or 4 players around him and we don't get anyone close enough, quick enough for him to take 1-2 touches and drop it off, he's going to look rubbish because he's going to keep losing the ball. It happened for Germany international break. It happened quite a lot today, but at times some of his touches and some of his layups were absolutely fabulous. So I'm still excited about what we're going to see.
Yeah, when you do get your players and your shape ready to exploit the gaps he will create, because just like physically, sometimes it will take 2 people. You'll have 2 people to deal with him.
Just look at the goal against Barca. The goal against Barca is a prime example of what we're going to see. So basically, it was Botman got it. It went back into Tiao, back into Botman. Then Voltameda, first time layoff to Nali. Bruno out wide to Murphy, cross to Gordon coming in from the left. We're going to see a lot of stuff, a lot of goals like that, where it's quick passing, and then it's one of the wingers crossing to another winger, or one of the wingers crossing it in, and one of the 8s arriving to score. We're going to see a lot of them type of goals going forward from Newcastle, rather than it being Voltameda a direct replacement for Isak's goals.
That really does link so nicely into what Ginny said in his comment with the Firmino thing, because it was always Mane and Salah that would get the goals, assists in the biggest numbers, with Firmino dropping off and knitting, and as Samir was always a big fan of the pre assist.
I don't watch out for them anymore, man.
That is exactly it.
But I did say it's not a big issue, but I did think the Elanga one was quite weird because, like I said, Elanga likes to play mostly on the left, but you've been playing him a lot on the right. But like
No,
Ginny said, you need an inverted winger.
Elanga's always played on the right, bro.
No, but he's better off the left, I think, personally.
We don't
He's
know because he's always played off. He's literally always played off the right.
Oh, but no,
So
but,
we know he's better off the left if he's always played on.
Him and Callum Hudson-Odoi sometimes switch.
Nah. Callum Hudson-Odoi is left, and Elanga was
No,
right.
they switch.
Pretty much 90-10. You're looking at the split of Elanga being left.
Nah. I
100%.
saw him a few games on that left, and he was more a few games against us as well. That's what I'm kind of basing it off. He was mostly on that left, and sometimes you'd see Callum Hudson-Odoi get benched. It's not like Callum Hudson-Odoi played every game. He got benched a lot.
Yeah.
Both of them. There was a lot of switching between the two. But that's what I'm saying. I think your issue is Elanga's too direct, but he needs to be like Gordon. Now you've got that headache. He needs to be like you need that inverted player, like Ginny said. You need that inverted player on that right, left footed, tucking in. It's like you want that whole Salah and Mane thing going, isn't it? In a sense. Yeah.
Potentially, but we'll see.
Anyway, with the game on the screen, I thought Donnarumma. I thought he was excellent. I thought his presence for all them Arsenal corners really made a difference to Man City.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for United and for the youth teams. Yeah, so I'm pleased in terms of position during the games. Yeah, that's what I mean. But and I saw him more effective when they did switch. I saw him more effective on the left. On the right, I saw a few counters where he could, lead and stuff. But it was mostly, well, from what I've seen, he was quite effective on the left.
Cool. Right, let's crack on with the Arsenal City game. What was you saying about I forgot his name now. Donnarumma. That's the one.
Donnarumma, yeah.
I thought he was really good. I thought because obviously everyone talks about Arsenal set pieces. Man City are a lot bigger team than they're given credit for, but I thought he attacked everything that came into the box. I really think that makes a difference. Coming from a side that has had a weak keeper in the past few weeks and terrible, the difference of having a confident keeper that wants to come and attack crosses, and I really think it helped him defend. And if Arsenal weren't threatening at their most threatening attribute for a lot of that game, so I thought it was big props. I was really impressed with him. I thought City were quite controlled and comfortable in the first half. Second half was very different, wasn't it? And I just I did say about playing Eze in the middle, and that's a perfect reason why. I thought that ball for Martinelli was excellent.
Yeah, agreed. Eze has to play through the middle for me. He's messed up the form now because I've gone square pegs round holes, and Eze's part of the picture because he was initially playing on the left wing, which I think is criminal, to be honest. But seeing him through the middle today shows exactly where he should be playing.
He's too clean. He's too tidy.
I mean, he can bop the ball around just as much as Ødegaard, but then if there's a space, he can drive into it.
Yeah.
And all it would do, even if he just displaces a couple of defensive players from where they want to be, he's still good enough to just go, all right, stop it, go back out. And then, like, Saka's got his one-on-one, for example. But as strange as I thought Arteta's lineup was, Pep made a couple of substitutions in the second half where I was a bit... I would have gone different ways myself.
As in when he took off the attackers and brought on defenders?
Yeah. I found it a bit strange because I don't know how fit Haaland is. He's played a lot of football this year, and like Mitch was saying with the Newcastle players, if someone's in the red, someone's in the red. You can't just flog them out. So I can understand that to a degree. Doku got through lots of work,
Yeah.
so I could see why they took him off. But I don't
They
know. We complained about Arsenal doing this. I think it was last year where there was no threat up top, and it just allows that team to push on. Although Arteta had run out of ideas because he was just throwing players and players and players on, just hoping something stuck. And in the end, it did. Through like it was a. I like the ball more than the finish, but it's still a very tidy finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Great touch, great finish, I thought.
Yeah. Weird from the sort of manager's ideas, both first half and second half.
I thought it was a very sort of odd game. The way City set up was mad. It was good to see the old Haaland, to be fair, for the goal where he, nice little touch, played it off and just absolutely motored away from everybody to get on the end of it.
His number 9 performance today was excellent. We were bigging up Gabriel last week. I thought Haaland showed him what a proper number 9 does.
Yeah.
I thought physically, he was much better than Gabriel today.
I don't know. I didn't really see much.
What, from Haaland?
Yeah, from Haaland. I personally didn't. I didn't see him. I didn't.
Mate, he did everything he needed to do as the number 9 he needed to play today.
Yeah, I only look at it as in we had like the ball for how long? How much of that game was certain points where we had the ball for like 80, like possession wise, and I don't remember seeing City doing too much. I remember that one chance he had in the second half where I think he shot too early.
Should have squared it.
Yeah, or should have squared it. But apart from that, I don't think Gabriel and Haaland came together that much because
but apart from his goal, that is probably the next best chance in the game. So what you're telling me is the only 2 times you saw him in the game was when he scored and then had the next best chance in the game.
And that one chance, but that's like I don't remember him bullying anyone.
Mate, there was one time that someone just whacked it long. It went up into the heavens. Haaland held off both your centre backs, and Doku nicked in front and took the ball and ran round them both.
Yeah, I thought at just any line ball, Haaland got his body in front every time and was sort of half on the roll. Like, I thought it was a real good number 9, but obviously City didn't want to commit too many people. Funny enough, I've always been a big fan of him, but I was surprised Bernardo Silva was on for so long because he got that booking. And you know what? Like, he's a gorgeous footballer, but sometimes he gets a bit rash. I know he didn't today, but I was like, maybe I'd get some more energy on in his place. Just maybe someone to get closer to Haaland.
Do you know what the funny thing is? The perfect player to bring on would have been Jack Grealish. I was just, as you were saying that, I was trying to think who could they have brought on that could have done a similar job, and the only player that came to mind that's been on their books recently is Jack Grealish.
And I mean, obviously Foden went off as well. Who, by the way, did anyone watch their game in the week?
No.
Oh no, you'd been watching.
I was watching Newcastle.
I could. I was stuck in London. I was stuck in London, so I just had to go in a pub, obviously. And Foden's looking a bit more of his old self. There was some outrageous touches, and I think he was good at the start of this game, but as it wore on, I think he looked quite leggy, and again, he had to come off.
Because most times I saw him, he was doing a lot of defending.
Yeah,
like he tracked back a lot more than I've ever seen him track back before. And
it's when a player's in good form.
Yeah, he wants to do.
You're confident you can get where you want to be.
Yeah. I just personally, for me, I just thought like I've seen a new side to Pep because it's like you said, Stock. Last season we got grilled for going there and like parking a bus with 10 men. And I saw pretty much similar, but we had 11-11. They took off a striker and brought on
in the second half. In the second half, they went like that. In the first half, they had you at arm's length, and they wanted you there.
Think about it. We only went down to we went down to 10 men in their ground in like the last minute of the first half. So obviously we've gone into that second half defending for our lives.
But I get it. It's similar defensive setups, but Man City was still trying to get out. They still had a way to get out. Like even when Doku and Haaland came off, they had Silvinho and who's the other six that they were calling?
Silvinho came on quite late as well. Silvinho came on late.
Yeah, but before Silvinho came on directly for Doku, so all they did was that was like for like. That was the out. Silvinho and Doku were the out. Originally, it was Haaland, and then the
Foden for Ake.
No, it was the guy that they were calling Mini Rodri last season.
Gonzalez. Defensive midfielder.
Yeah, Haaland. So he came on for Haaland, and he was trying to play the role of trying to get them up the pitch, which is how you scored, because he was driving them forward. What you did last season was sit in and not even attempt to get out.
Yeah, but anyway, our reason was we were down to 10 men.
Yeah, Newcastle were down to 10 against Liverpool a few weeks ago and with a better team and scored 2 goals. What are you talking about? It makes no difference. 10 against 11 isn't an excuse to not try and get out. You always have to try and get out.
Of course, but like with us, our situations, we lose to City all the time. We go to that ground, we lose. And now we're down to 10 men with a 1-0 lead. We could win here for the first time in God knows. I can't remember the last time we even beat them at that stadium. And that's how the mentality was it to look at it. But this, I've never seen anything like this from Pep. In any game in my life, I've never seen anything like this from Pep.
He's 1-0 up away from home. I think that's a bit...
That's what I'm saying, but they're saying that's not Pep. That's not Pep. Against like Arsenal, I've never seen him do that. He took off and 2 attackers and brought off a defensive midfielder and brought on an extra defender, an extra centre back. Yeah. I've never seen that.
And how many? Because you just chucked on every forward that you had on the bench. So of course he's going to do that.
You were going for it, and he was counteracting what you were doing. And he also hasn't got another striker to bring off the bench.
No. Let's look at the subs again. I think we changed it at halftime. We made a few changes at halftime. He wanted to take the 1-0 lead, and then we started bringing on more attackers. That's how it went. It was completely different. It weren't like we were chucking on attackers. Then he went defensive. We made our changes at halftime, like for like you said. It was like for like, and then he.
No, you didn't go like for like at halftime.
Yeah, we did. We took off Eze.
You took off Mourinho, came off for Eze. That is not like for like. Let's not do this.
Mourinho was meant to be the number 10.
No.
Mourinho was meant to be the number 10.
Forget this nonsense that Mourinho's ever been a number 10. Mourinho for Eze is not like for like. At a stretch, Mourinho is an 8. He's not a 10.
Yeah, but when did Eze come on and play mostly?
So Eze is a 10
but
and played in the 10. Mourinho is not a 10, never has been a 10, and never will be a 10.
Where did he play, though? He played in the 10. Mourinho played in the 10. So
okay. Whoa. Okay, pause. Just for a second here, yeah? You could play... Say you want to play Declan Rice in your 10, yeah? It doesn't mean he's a 10 in the same way Eze's a 10.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Defensive setup if you're playing Mourinho in a 10. You put Eze in a 10, it's not like for like because they do completely different things and it's a completely different style of play. Let's not do like for like when that's the change.
Position-wise, it was like for like. I didn't say Mourinho started in a 10. Eze's come on, he's played in the 10. I didn't say Mourinho, it was a flat 3 and then we put in a 10. Because you're saying, did you say Man City made like for like changes? I think
I didn't. I have not used the word like for like or stream. I didn't say that at all.
Doku and Savinho, like for like. That's what you said.
Yeah, no. I said that Savinho came on for Doku and did the same role of getting City up the pitch that Doku did. Yeah.
No, you said what's his name? That Nico guy did.
Nico Gonzalez also tried to do a similar role of getting City up the pitch, is what I said.
He's a DM.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say he was anything else.
But so what are we doing here, though? I don't get this. Like
this angle you're trying to come from doesn't exist. To me.
My angle is
you're pivoting away from Mourinho and Eze being like for like to something I haven't even said now.
I'm talking position wise. You know what I'm talking about. I'm
No,
talking position.
no.
Like for like.
No. Like for like means you're bringing on one player that does one thing for another player that does the same thing. That's like for
It's
like.
just the fact, no, it's just the fact that Marino couldn't do it.
No. Just to make it clear, like for like, you take off one player that does one thing for another player that does the same thing.
Yeah.
Isaiah Mourinho is not like for like.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's move on from the. All right, so let's go to.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify that.
Let's go to Saka and Madueke then.
Saka
thought that was a
Madueke,
bit harsh
like
on
for like.
Madueke.
I'll give you that. Saka for Madueke, like for like, yeah.
You were trying
I
to
thought it's
Stokes.
a bit harsh.
Yeah, Stokes tried to do that. Stokes was like, "Oh, how we were bringing on attackers, and that's why Pep went that way."
No, wait. You brought Jury and Timber for Martinelli.
We're talking about. That was like after he went defensive. That's what I'm talking about. We brought on everyone after that. I'm saying at half time we made changes, yeah, and then Pep saw it was 1-0, started going all that defensive nonsense, and then we started bringing on more players.
You do realise he had no one else on the bench.
Is that my problem?
Yeah, no, but like he hasn't made this change because that's what he wanted to do. He made this change because Foden had no legs left, Haaland had no legs left, and there's no one else on the bench.
No legs left. It was like the 70th minute.
Bro, they've just played 3 games in a week.
And we didn't. We didn't.
So you've played exactly all of these players have all played 3 games in a week. Yeah, you played the same team in all 3 games.
Yes. Yeah.
You sure about
Yeah,
that?
I realised. Yeah. Apart from Eze, who got benched today, but that was it.
Oh,
The
so they all didn't play the same.
One person. One person. Well, Eze, and that's it. But everyone else.
Trossard started.
Yeah, another rotation.
So, 2 players.
What day was your champion? What day was your Champions League game?
Tuesday.
What day was City's Champions League game?
Thursday. So what? We used to play
Exactly. It's a short turnaround.
It's September. I don't want to hear these excuses. It's September. This ain't the end of the season.
Whoa! Did you play in the Club World Cup?
Is that my problem?
Did City play in the Club World Cup?
I don't care. That's not my problem.
No, but you're dismissing my point. You're dismissing my point, so I'm backing it up with reasons why this has happened and why it's been
I
done.
don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Because if we were to come up with them excuses, you will be on our necks. You will be on our necks. If we was to come up with these excuses, you will be on our necks. You wouldn't let us breathe. I don't want to give a
But no one's made excuses. I'm just saying this is why Pep has made the changes. Because he could have left Haaland and Foden on, but if they then got injured, he's screwed later down the line. Exactly the same thing I said for Newcastle earlier on.
I'm taking this 1-0 home. Pep was like, I'm taking 1-0
Maybe
home.
He was.
I've never seen it before.
But I guarantee if Marmoush was fit, Marmoush would have came on instead of one of the defenders that came on.
I don't know if
And also, do you know what? Why shouldn't he take 1-0 when his team were winning 1-0 away to a rival?
We've been grilled for that. Like, for years we've been getting grilled for that.
I have already put Pep down because it didn't work. That's why you got grilled for it, because it didn't work. If you made it work, I wouldn't have said a word. If Pep had made it work, no one could say anything. It didn't work. He failed. What he tried to do failed. He gets grilled in exactly the same way.
Which is fair. But then I'm hearing all the sorts and excuses, but no one.
No, but it's still the fact. My original point was he tried to close the game out and get the 1-0, went very defensive and failed. Yeah. Regardless of the reason he went defensive, still failed. Like that's the bottom line of it. So he's going to get grilled in exactly the same way. You can't try and grind out a 1-0 and not grind out a 1-0, and then not expect a little bit of criticism for ending the game with like 7 defenders on the pitch.
And I don't get why Arteta had such a well, compared to what he could have put out. I don't get why he had a negative outlook from the start of the game.
He did it against Liverpool as well. He did it against Liverpool. I don't get why we
it's
just
like
don't
the players. I think the players got out of that.
Yeah.
I think 2 bits of quality got him out of that.
Yeah.
Because without that draw, I think it gets spun onto Arteta.
Yeah. And because you know that like, he should be getting grilled now anyway, because we should be beating City at home with our strongest players that were on the bench start them, we're beating them. I think. Did you not say that, Stocks? Earlier? I think we'll beat them comfortably, which I agree with.
I wouldn't say comfortably. I can't remember who it was, but I heard an Arsenal fan at some point this week saying, "I'm no longer scared of City." It baffles me where that arrogance comes from because there's not
But
much
you know what it
between
is,
these
yeah.
two
You know what
sides.
it is. I used to come into these games. My heart used to be beating and stuff like that. Personally, I don't know what it is. Like it is confidence basically. But like we haven't lost to these teams. Well, apart from Liverpool 2 weeks ago, we didn't lose in a big game for about 2 seasons. And going into these games in the past, we used to flipping fear for our lives. But yeah, I go into these games with more confidence. Apart from Liverpool at Anfield, Man United at Old Trafford, and I'd say Tottenham away. I go into these games panicking, but every other game it's just like I don't fear anyone. I don't think it's arrogance. I just off past results. We used to go into these games fearing for our lives because we used to get battered all the time. But now we go into these games not fearing anyone. I don't think it's arrogance. I just think it's based off our past, of being battered but not losing as much. It's like Stocks. If you was to come to I don't know, to be fair, it's a bit different now. But like you've been to the Emirates like what, last 3 years and you've won twice. You're not gonna come into this season. Yeah, maybe now because you're getting better. But say you weren't getting better, but you're not gonna be like, oh my days, it's the end of the world, I'm panicking and this, that. No, you've come into the Emirates twice and you've won. I think you as well, Mitch, at home, you're gonna be a lot confident than you are, even though you've not had a good start to the season, but you've had our number at your ground recently. So it's basically like that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Mm.
I get that, but the way things are said is like
Do,
it
do,
really baffles me sometimes.
do you fear City? If you was to come up against them now, would you be like all panicky and nervous when you're?
I don't really no, because I'm in the point where I'm excited about games more than fearful of them because I know that we're going to go out and try and win the game in, and we're going to put on a good showing regardless. So
Mm.
like my mentality towards Newcastle is, as much as this probably doesn't make good content, is I know that we're transitioning from being a team. Well, we're trying to transition from a team that's challenging for European places and Champions League to a team that wants to challenge at the top, and that is a transition that has to be made, and you have to change the way you play. You
Yeah.
might see a slight drop off at times, and it might not be what you want to see, but it's a process every team's got to go through, and we're going through that right now. So,
Yeah.
and we've just lost our star man. Everything we created going forward last season evolved around Alexander Isak putting the ball in the net,
Yeah.
and we're pivoting away from that. So I'm not the best person to ask, but I don't fear anybody anywhere at the minute because we've got such a good defense that I know if we score a goal 9 times out of 10, we're going to draw a game.
And that's where we're at, Arsenal as well. I think our defense is so strong. Like I can't remember the last time we conceded more than 2 goals in one game, and I think that's where the confidence comes from. And we haven't lost to City in a while right now, so I think that's whoever said that. Like I personally wouldn't say it, but like it's how I feel. Like I don't fear City. I went into this game thinking, bro, we've got to win this. Until I saw that starting lineup, until I saw that
But
starting lineup.
this is the point I've always made. Like Arteta is
Yeah,
the guy that holds you back still at this point in time.
yeah. I thought about you saying
Because
that.
today is a day that you rip City's heart out.
Yeah,
Like they it was at the Emirates, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
they come to the Emirates, you slap them up and send them packing, and say you ain't title challengers. We're title challengers against Liverpool. Go home with nothing. And he set up in a way where it was like, okay, let's keep this close, let's keep it cagey, let's not try and concede
yeah.
too many. And then only when he realised that City were actually a bit scared and cowering in the corner, trying not to concede a goal,
He
did
threw
he
everyone.
unleash a little bit.
Yeah, which
And
is
that's
so.
always going to be Arteta's problem because the way you win this league this season is by going and beating teams.
Yeah,
Like, as much as I dig out Liverpool saying they're easy to get at, if they're going out and scoring 3-4 goals every week, then they can be easy to get at if they only concede 2 or 3 goals and they score 3 or 4.
yeah. And
So,
then with the
like,
free. Yeah,
if that's the way they're going to go about things, someone else is going to have to do that as well to keep up with them. And we're seeing that this early in the season because they're like 5 points clear after 5 games. That's mad.
So, so imagine you are in Arteta's position. Yeah? Imagine you two. You're in Arteta's position right now. So this is.
Stop dyeing my hair so much.
So you're under
Me and
pressure.
Pep got it going on.
Close enough. Close enough.
Halen Pep.
So this is all right. You're pretty much your final season. You're under pressure. Are you going all out, or are you going this way Arteta's going, and it's pretty much safe?
I'm not going the safe way. So we've been hearing it for years. Last few seasons, last 3 or 4 years, we've got the best defense in the league. We've now got the best defensive depth in Europe. Show us. Let your defenders defend.
Yeah.
Play your back four. Play a solid DM, which could be just Declan Rice. You don't need a DM next to Declan Rice. He covers that much ground. Then play 2 more creative players alongside him. Then you've got your front three. That's how I go and win 80% of games in the Premier League. Maybe if I go to Anfield, I play a double pivot. Maybe when I go to the Etihad, I play a double pivot. Maybe at some of the other harder teams in the league, I play a double pivot. But 90% of games, I go out 4-3-3, for maybe a 4-2-3-1, but one of the deep two doesn't sit with Declan Rice in front of the back four shielding. I've got the best back four in the league. Go and score some goals. Go and create. Let's go and blow teams away. Let's kill teams in the first half hour. That would be my approach.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Like, if you think about it, yeah, who in the league, apart from, say, Isaac, Haaland, Mateta, and maybe Ekatike at this point in time, would you not back one of your centre-backs one-on-one in the league?
Who I wouldn't back.
Yeah, apart from them 4 players that I've just said, who else would you be worried about one of your centre-backs up against one-on-one?
Oh, no.
Exactly. So why not let some of these defenders do some one-on-one defending? Because you play 4 very solid defensive players. Calafiore is a good defender. Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. All good one-on-one defenders. Let's see some one-on-one defending every now and again for you to go and score some more goals and win games.
See that what you said is absolutely how every Arsenal fans feel. I feel like Arteta sees it a totally different way. I think us fans see it one way, he sees it another. I don't know if he's too confident with our defense, because it is weird. Because what you're saying is 1,000% right. He should go out and all attack, but
not all attack. Still be balanced with it, but at least see some one-on-one defending every now and again. You very rarely see Arsenal doing one-on-one defending. Today we saw it in one occasion and Haaland scored. That's the one guy you don't want to do it against.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would say? And I don't usually back up Arteta because I don't like him. But if I was to get the old manager's hat back on, as a manager, you want to control as many variables as you can. So I just think he wants to, the way he's looking at it, he wants to control the game in as many areas as he can.
Boring.
And then just win. And just trust that his players will do the right things at the right times and win. But now they've compiled such a squad. I think they can attack more and make people scared. I think he's got all of these pieces to go and really go for people. I know Rice was really good at 8 for the last season, or has he been there 2 years? I think it's 2 years now. Do you know what? If you've got Eze and Erdegaard, just pull him back into 6.
Yeah.
Like every now and again.
I know he's got better going forward, but you've got Eze there. Play him there.
Yeah, but people like Declan Rice like to listen to media, and what they want from him is more goals and more assists. I don't care about that.
Declan Rice will not care. If Arteta said today, Declan, shield the back 4 for me. We're going to play you with Odegaard and Eze. We need you to shield. We need you to protect the back 4. Them 2 are going to go and create. He would sit in and happily do that.
Of course he would. But I've heard him say as well, like, I need to get more goals. I need to get more assists. And
he said that at West Ham. We were shit. and he got better with the team. So yeah, I don't
He
buy
only
that.
says that because he's being asked to play number 8 every week.
Yeah, yeah. As an 8, you have to provide that, but like he can do it. But I think when you've got other players and you don't need as much cover, like yeah, get some more attackers on.
Yeah.
I've got one last thing when we're going to complain about. It's not necessarily an Arteta thing, but a little bit of you've been speaking about like the Arsenal psyche things a little bit tonight, Samir, and how people approach things. If I'm Martinelli, I'm not running around and celebrating with everyone. I'm getting the ball in the net, and we got to go for them. This is it. This is our chance. Let's do them. For me, strike while the iron's hot. Get in their faces. They were holding out, and you concede. How many times do you see them concede another one soon after? But everyone was too busy patting each other's backs. I don't want to go all sort of miserable on it, but get the ball out of the net and fucking go for him again. Stop. You've got a draw at home. What do you do? Like as Mitch was saying, this is the game where you win and you go, you ain't title contenders. But you was all, everyone was like, I know it's exciting to score in the last minute, but I think it's more exciting to show content to want to win, to win the game.
Yeah. To be fair, you are right, but I don't see too many people scoring the equaliser against City and flipping wanting to get that ball out the net and go again at them.
Can I just interject? Can I just interject slightly?
Yeah.
Newcastle down to 10, made it 2-2 against Liverpool, and
My
we got
God,
the ball out of the net and ran back to halfway when we were down to 10 men to try and win the game. So teams do still do it.
But it was pretty early on though.
It was not. It was like 86 or something like that. We equalised.
Yeah.
But regardless, we got the ball out of the net and went to go to try and win the game when we were down to 10 against Liverpool.
Yeah, personally for me, I just think the occasion got to.
Funny enough, I'm not digging at Martinelli for this, right? I thought it was a really nice goal, and I'd be pretty fucking chuffed with it. But there's enough what you'd call senior players there to go, all right, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Like the person
Let Martinelli
who scored,
go and celebrate, but someone else should be getting the ball out of the net.
It's like I said. It's like I said. I said this earlier off air as well. It's just they also pretty much had the similar thing last season, but they got the ball out of the net and threw the ball at Gabriel instead of taking that ball and taking it back to the centre spot. But you see, you laugh, you laugh. That's what I mean. But like that's what I mean. It's fun for someone else, but for Arsenal, it's a big issue. We're talking about Man City.
It's not a big issue. That's a football thing in general. It's you guys that have done it today, but that's a football thing in general. Everybody, like, there should have been someone in that side, even if it was just one player, whoever's got the armband up, whatever, that just ran, got the ball, put it on halfway, that as soon as the celebrations were done, it was ready to go.
Yeah. No, which I agree with you, though, of course. I agree. But it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the occasion, because I wasn't even thinking about getting the ball and flipping thing. I was just relieved. I think that's another thing. It's just relieved. They would be defending for their lives. And like I said, we put them through that last season as well. And it's just like once you get an equalizer, it's like are we really gonna go and get a second after this? Like this ain't a Nottingham Forest or anything. So it's a Manchester City. Man City probably looked at it as us.
I thought you had real momentum in that half, and from about 50, I was like, "There's only one team should really be winning this." From here, and then the subs happened, and we've already spoke about with Pep taking Doku and Haaland off for understandable reasons, but still, I'm like, well, all this traffic's only going in one way, and like I said, I'm not blaming Martinelli. He got a really good goal, but just one of the more senior players, just to go, come on, we've got them on the rack here. Because you did. You if it weren't for Donnarumma, I think all the pressure from corners would have told. So you really had them on the rack, and it's an opportunity to win. Like, all right, you got a point from like in extra time, fair enough. But if you go and win that, and you've showed bottle and commitment and everything, everyone's going to go, all right, this is a race where, points not really done.
No, it's not done anything. I just think at the same
It's
time
a
as
good
well.
result, but do you see my point of opportunity
Yeah,
missed,
of
perhaps?
course. Yeah. But I don't know. I like I said, I do agree with you. I'm not celebrating like that. I'm saying bring the ball back, but I don't know.
Or just
Maybe
one person.
thinking about the timing of the game as well. What was it? 93rd minute, and there was.
I think it was 91st, and you had 7 on the clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, 90. I think it was. I think it went in on 91, and there was still should have been about 6 minutes left, which probably would have rolled on a little bit further because of the celebrations and stuff.
Celebration, yeah. See, I personally don't know. If it was like the 88th minute, oh my days, you get a fucking ball, we go again. But yeah, 90th minute, we can't flip and get through. Oh shit, we're into added minute time. Added minute time.
But still give it a go.
Yeah. I know it's a slight gripe, and it sounds like I'm getting at you, but I'm like,
I
small
understand.
margins could get you over the edge, if you know what I mean, Samir. Because that's where Arsenal are. It's small margins to you winning.
But I that's what I say. I think like we just respect Man City too much. We respect Liverpool too much. And I don't like it. Like if that was any of you lot, we're getting that ball and we're running back. If it's a flipping Chelsea, if it's a Tottenham, we're getting that ball and we're running back. But we respect City and Liverpool too much, which is annoying because they don't respect us.
I think that's a really good point. I think that's a good point to me. And if that was X amount of other teams, you'd be getting the ball out of the net. But with them, it was just a relief you've got.
Respect, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't want to concede again. That's the Arteta way. We just don't.
Leave the ball in the net. There's less time for them to score a winner.
No more. We did that. We didn't want to heartbreak. Our heartbreak would have been nasty work. If City went and scored again, that would have been nasty.
Yeah. Well, they had them couple of set pieces, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, ref.
They were a long way out, though. They were a long way out to really shape that ball in.
It was quiet. The reference was quiet. Everyone was just waiting, like anything could happen. And referee was taking the piss. It was part of the night. It's a past the 97th minute as well. It's just like, free kicks. I'm like, no. Blow the whistle. I was calling for full time. That's how you know I was getting. I was calling for full time. Unless we got on the counter.
Okay. On to last little bit. Square pegs in round holes. So I feel a lot of clubs this summer have bought players kind of just because, and it hasn't really fit exactly what they need as a team, or it doesn't fit the system they're trying to play, for me. This might come across as shameless because it hasn't started well, but we're going to start here. Because I feel the money that's spent on both of these two could have been used much better elsewhere, which is probably bonkers to say, considering Liverpool 5 from 5 and top of the league. True. But every time he tries to revert to the system that makes it work for Wirtz, it looks like it doesn't work for Liverpool.
I totally agree.
And even from the Liverpool fans' perspective, so their narrative changes constantly at the minute. So the narrative was, right, Wirtz comes in for Szoboszlai doesn't play. We don't need him. He's rubbish. He's not good in the 10. We don't need him to play. Then all of a sudden, Frimpong gets injured and he plays right back. And it's like, oh my God, Szoboszlai is an amazing right back. He has to play all the time. He can invert and he can help in the midfield and do all this. And now, when first half yesterday, I'm hearing Liverpool fans saying Szoboszlai has to start in midfield for his legs. Yeah. And it's like, I've been telling you that all along. And now you're back to this point. But where does Wirtz now play? I just shunt him out to the left.
Oh, come on, man.
Square pegs, round holes. That's my exact point in this situation. And then on the Isak front, I'm not trying to say I'm not even going to go against everything I've said about Isak the whole time he was at Newcastle. He's one of the best strikers in the world, potentially only 2 or 3 above him, if that, in the world. But you've got Ekitike. So when they both play, what system do you play? Who drops out? Where do they play? So it just feels like, again, there's going to be square pegs in round holes for no reason when you could go and spend it elsewhere that could have improved you elsewhere at the same time.
Yeah. And we're talking centre-backs, we're talking maybe one winger, we're talking maybe an extra midfielder, I'd say. Not a number 10. I've never really known Liverpool to ever have number 10s like that. In case you want to class Firmino, but Firmino was a 9.
Firmino's what Voltamader's going to be for us. He's not a 10.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
9, but he's not a traditional 9. So,
Yeah.
like a
Is it-
Firmino would have been like back in the day if you had two prolific goal-scoring wingers and you played Gianfranco Zola up front through the middle on his own,
Yeah.
or a Dennis Bergkamp, or a Teddy Sheringham, or like loads of other players you could put in that similar role. They're not fully number 9s. They score a few goals, but they're there for link up for the other players around them.
Exactly that. And the Isak one just made absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's like you said, they got Ekatike.
Yeah. I always said Isak was an opportunity that they were told there was a possibility, and I felt like they were like, well, we might not get an opportunity to sign a forward of this caliber again. It just struck me as a market opportunity.
Yeah.
First is a bit different. I don't think he's been very good, but I think he's got. I'm giving him more time to see what he can do. Yeah, I know it's not been impressive, but
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not jumping on. I'm not jumping. I do agree that the square pegs round holes thing.
Yeah.
He's played in lots of different. He played lots of different positions for Leverkusen, but I suppose it's harder with Liverpool because they won the league. So if you're going to come in, you've got to improve upon that, or be as good or improve. And it's not quite working yet. But
I understand. I understand price tags are not like it's not fair on players and stuff like that. But I'm always
tough shit.
Tough shit. Exactly that. I'm always gonna look at the price tag. I'm sorry, but you're like what? Well, apart from he was like what number 1 in Premier League all time spending, no? But now it's just that. But
yeah. So they broke the British transfer record twice in the same window.
They're top 2.
And Ginny's point, I totally get. I fully understand Ginny's point. The thing I've always said against that is, what if Mo Salah goes for 2 more years or 3 more years and isn't gone next summer? Because then you've got an even bigger problem over a longer period of time. Because it feels to me like if all of these players play together, you have to drop someone. And it looks like Slot wants that someone to be Mo Salah. But if he does that, it has to work, or his head's on the chopping block very, very quickly.
Well, I think to that degree, Mitch, I would say it's working out quite well because I don't think Salah's been very good to start this season.
But he's still getting the crucial goals and assists when they need it.
Bullshit. Penalties.
Assist for the winner against Newcastle.
Like I said, I'm not getting on
Salah. Like he's coming up. He's coming up in moments when they need him to score goals or get assists. He's still having the moments.
That's kind of much they were like last year.
Yeah, but then Slot's in a position where if they pivot away from that, it has to work, or he's going to get absolutely crucified because he's gone away from tried and tested to no, this is my system. But if it doesn't work, he's in deep water, and I think he's now starting to completely bottle what he wanted to do to keep everybody on side. Because the starting side yesterday, no Verts, no Isak, Gakpo on the left, Szoboszlai back in the 10.
I don't think Isak's fit yet, so
it's just I don't even think it comes down to that though. I just think the balance is all over the place in that team. In that front line, it's just it's too quick to say, but I just don't think it's working, and it's not going to. Personally, for me, I just don't see how it is. It's gonna work. Personally, for me,
I don't think it works with all of them playing.
Yeah, nothing's clicking. Nothing is clicking.
It's a weird one,
Well,
and it'll be interesting to see if they do, because the rhetoric at the start of the season, or after they signed this app, was, "Whoa, just you wait until we get them all in the pitch, you're in trouble."
no,
And
I
now
would
they're
never.
like, "Whoa, actually, we might have to put together a functioning football team here."
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you know what? There's worse problems to have, I suppose.
There definitely is. There definitely is, but they've got they've got a lot of big characters to try and appease when they're potentially going to have to rotate a lot this season to keep
Yeah,
people happy.
I personally don't think Slot wanted that. I don't think
I
he's
think
at all. He doesn't
maybe
seem
he
like
was.
that type of manager. I don't think he seems that type of manager that wants an overhaul like that or having to rotate so much and only to keep.
I think Slot's the man behind it. I think Slot's
You
the
think?
man behind the change. I think he's looking to pursue his way of playing football now.
Yeah, but I mean, like signing like the Isak and stuff. I reckon he probably wanted to go out and get like these small individual signings.
Nah, I think one of Isak or Ekitike wasn't his signings, but one of them would have been. I don't know which
Yeah,
one,
one, but
but
not
one of
two.
them
Not both.
would have been.
Yeah, I think one, but not to have both though.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right. My last question on this, because I think Wirtz is a fabulous football player. I've watched him a lot for Bayer Leverkusen. I think he's incredible. If it all clicks for him, he's going to be fantastic. I think he needs to develop a little bit of that David Silva elusive gene that you don't know where he is when he pops up, and then by the time you figure out where he is, he's already done the damage. If he can do that, there's a problem for the league. But does anybody think he could potentially be a big fish, small pond kind of guy?
Yeah,
Do you know what? From what I've seen at times, you know, when you're trying to force it too much,
yes,
when you've played yourself, you're trying to force it, so you're doing all the hard yards, and then you're not doing what you was asked to do.
yeah.
I think that might be something to do with it. But yeah, look, I'm not disregarding your point, Mitch. That's possible, but you know what I'm like. I ain't quick to make a snap judgment, but time will definitely tell. If we're still having this conversation in another 2 to 3 months, then yeah, I think we can really get into it then, and then we can really start assessing how either good or bad did this outlay's gone for Liverpool. Because at the minute, you could say none of them look particularly outstanding, and they don't look a great side, but they got 5 from 5. If things will start to waver, then you could say we've highlighted some indicators.
But it ain't 5 from 5 like 5 from 5. Wow, it's like 5 from 5. It's a bit.
Yeah, but
Right.
Samir,
There's worse problems to have.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
it is. I get it. But we're all waiting for that. All right,
No, but when you're 5 from 5 and the closest person to you best is 3 from 5, it's already becoming a bit tetchy for the rest of the league in that situation. Like, it's not looking good for everybody else. If Liverpool kind of haven't properly clicked, but they're 5 points clear at the top of the league.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
So
true.
a Liverpool fan had the cheek to say to me yesterday they were in second gear, and I was just like, "Are you having fucking laugh?"
You said that?
A Liverpool fan said to me that they're in second gear, and I was like, "Cool. If you're in second gear, maybe you're in second gear, but I don't think you've got as many gears to go through as you believe you have."
No, do I? I don't think anyone is.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they feel, well, not interesting, but yeah, see if they figure it out, see if they make it all work.
Yeah.
The other one that is even more falls into this bracket for me is what this team have done. Because I've always said I cannot fathom why they have gone out and done it. So, like, Cunha, I think, is a fantastic player. He would have been my number one signing for Newcastle in the summer. So I'm not even trying to put the players down. On Buemo, would have loved Buemo as well. If it was him or Elanga, I probably would have picked him as well. Sesko, never really been that sold on him, but again, I think he's a decent player. My biggest thing on this is that they've signed a 9. Yes, they needed a 9 because Højlund's was rubbish, but they signed 2 10s. or 2 players to play in that 10 position. One of them's not even a 10, to be fair.
Exactly.
When
Yeah.
they already had Mason Mount, who the manager seems to love, who he's forcing in at a false 9.
I
Bruno
don't know. I think
Fernandes.
he's looked good every time I've seen him play this
I
season.
like Mason Mount. I don't know what the criticism of Mason Mount is, which is why I've put him in this image. Amad Diallo, probably their best player for large parts last season, played in one of the 10 roles last season, and of course Bruno Fernandes, who is definitely not a deep 2 in the system they play and suits the 10 more. So they've signed 2 players to play in the positions, just to the detriment of three players who hadn't done anything wrong for them in the first place, and they have not addressed the glaring issues that they've got in their squad. And again, they're now shoehorning in Ahmad, wing back, Mason Mount, false 9, Bruno Fernandes in a deep 8 next to Casemiro. Square pegs in round holes everywhere. Even Mbuemo playing in a right 10, he's a left winger. I mean, a right winger. He's a right forward. Like, what are you doing?
He ain't got a clue. Amrin ain't got a clue. Not a small clue about any of these players. He ain't got nothing. Like, I honestly, I don't. He doesn't understand the English game. He's too stubborn to change things. I think a lot of different managers would do well with the squad. By the way, if you just change a few things, none of that 3 at the back. Put a Buemo on the right wing. I don't know who can really go on the left. I don't know about Cunha on that left, but I don't know. I think a lot of managers could do a lot of different with this squad. I think Amarin's system is just it's like Ange again. It's just like we just don't get it. It's not working. Change, but
you say that with the squad, yeah. I say to a point, you probably are slightly right in places, but I feel to get the best out of this team attacking wise, you need to go forward at the back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
They've got no real left back
Yeah.
that can be consistent for them because Luke Shaw's always injured and Dorgu is most definitely a wing back. And then what centre backs are good in the 2? Which of their centre backs would you play in the 2 and be confident with? Euro's always played in the 3. Maguire turns like milk. Who else is there? De Ligt has played in the 3 for a long time now. I think he played in the 2 at Ajax, so he could potentially do it.
He could do it, yeah.
And then you've got Mazwari at right back, decent, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I quite like him.
Would you be confident in that as a back 4?
Well,
Dorgu,
I don't know.
De Ligt, Euro, Mazwari as a back 4 does not look good to me.
It'll take a while, but
if they click going forward, then there'll be a bit of a fear factor. Whereas at the minute, you can safely say, how long you got to shut Man United out for an X amount of time? Ideally, obviously, this game yesterday was a bit of a clusterfuck. By the way, you described it with sending us off and what's not. But so Man United played pretty well for patches against Arsenal. But Arsenal held them out when they had to, and it's just a matter of time before they score. I think it's just too easy to see it out with them. If you see it out through their patch, there's nothing after that. And there's no point having an effective attack for 20 minutes if by the time they've found you out, then I see you're done for. It's just too rigid to that one system. I think you need... especially the way football goes in the top league in a minute. There's always different shapes for different times and sections of the game. He's got to do that because one thing doesn't work.
I don't know about you,
and 3 at the back. It's too much pace and movement from other teams now. I think you've got to be extremely good to play 3 at the back. And are Man United that?
No. There we go. So why not go back to route 1? Or just go back to basics?
Yeah, so so saying that, what would you play with this Man United team then? Say we're playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, whichever way you want to shape it up. Well, who would you pick in them positions? So ignore the back 5 from midfield forward. What'd you play?
They're too great, is it? I'll go Bruno, Uh, Casemiro's fucking shit. I got Bruno Casemiro. Because Ugarte ain't any flipping better than that. I go Mbuemo on the right. My biggest issue is that left. I'll go Cunha number 10. Yeah, the biggest issue is that left. I'm gonna have to put Dallo there. He was playing a lot on that left side.
Oh yeah, we did mention Dano earlier.
He did. He tried to put
He's
it.
very hit and miss. Like one week he's really good, then the next week you think, oh god,
Yeah,
he's got his boots the wrong way around.
Yeah.
just to get that direct element of things, I'll just put Dallo there, and then Mbuemo, who I really like, by the way. Like he's the only mostly standout player for them this season so far. I'd say. I always look at him. I think, yeah, this is a good signing. So I'll go Dallo, and then Sesko up front. That's still because there's no one else. So
No, okay. I
he's
get
good.
it. I get
That's
it.
a
But
good system, man. I like that.
you've got exactly the same problem with Man United as what you've got now. You've just got a lot less defensive coverage. You've got a pivot of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes now protecting a back four rather than that pivot protecting a back three. They would get shredded, regardless of who the back four is. They would get shredded.
Do you know what their problem is? They've just got no one that can get around the pitch at any great speed in the middle of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Much of the same I complain about West Ham. So Casemiro, funny enough, I would have him in there, but only if you had some absolute legs next to him. So sort of like a Casado kind of player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, right, just because Casemiro can't get around the pitch doesn't mean he doesn't know where to be or who needs to be where what part. So really, what if they want to make anything work? They need some energy. This is so similar to what I was complaining about West Ham with. So they need a proper workhorse in there, and I really think it would really transform what they've got, because then you can get Bruno into areas where he can be most effective. It's not to say he's not effective where he is, but he'd be most effective further up.
Yeah.
And then I think more things click. There's just not enough pace. We always said when we was managing and to when we were playing, the best players, the best 11 players doesn't make the best team. You just need someone in there who's fit as fuck, who can go around, win the ball, give it to someone better.
Yeah.
It's all they have to do. But it's like Man United are not allowed to do that. And they bought Ugarte who can do it, but he was good at that in a different league. In the Premier League, I think you've got to be very quick, very strong.
Yeah.
And he's not quite that.
So now, yeah. So now imagine that Mbuemo didn't happen. They didn't sign Mbuemo. They then went and spent a load of money on, say, let's just throw Adam Wharton in there for the sake of it, yeah. And they played Wharton next to Casemiro. Exactly the same system they play now. Back three, Wharton next to Casemiro, the wing backs of Mazwari and Dorgu. Then you've got Bruno Fernandes in the 10 with Cunha and Sesko through the middle. For me, that instantly looks like a much better function inside.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. No, when you said Bruno in the 10, at first when you just said Casemiro and Wharton, that's it. I was like, oh,
because
Bruno,
he's naturally going to come back and help them if he has to.
And so's Cunha.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense, but that's what I've said. I've said for a long time with Man United. They're so desperate to get back to what they were.
Yeah, they're throwing everything.
Yeah, they're just throwing.
Chelsea are similar as well.
Shit at the wall just to get something that sticks. They need a superstar player to hang it on. No, start from the back, like basics.
I think Chelsea.
It's baffling.
Yeah.
But I understand why they do it, but it's not working. But I was also said they've been run like a PLC, not a football club.
You ain't got Europe anymore, but it's like you said, just start again, like from the base, like you said.
How many times can you start again, though, Samir? That's the thing.
No, but especially like now, like they don't have no European football, nothing. Here we go. Let's start a base, like you said, and then we go on from there.
Well, I was disagreeing with the first part of that sentence, Ginesta, and then when I saw Belabor and Walton, I
Yeah,
don't think I could disagree with that whatsoever. If you had Belabor and Walton as the two in that midfield, that
but
would
at the
be
same time,
pretty special.
if they were to sell Bruno for that 100 mil, Brighton will want that 100 mil he just got.
Yeah, but once you amortize it and all of that, they would be able to go out and buy both of them. It's Man United,
Oh,
man. They can spend whatever they want and get away with it. It doesn't matter.
Imagine
yeah,
if they were good.
they'll get you
Imagine
back.
how much
I've
money
got
they'd have if they were good.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
They
gonna have
could
to spend 100 mil.
they
On
could
what?
if they were actually still near the top and winning things and getting in the Champions League, they could have spent near Liverpool money without worrying
Yeah,
about it, without
yeah.
having to sell Bruno for 100 million.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Shame.
just imagine they were actually a good football team.
Exactly.
Okay, last little bit before we go. I'm going to bring this in every week going forward. Little catch up on our fantasy league that we've got going in the Owls. Stocky, little bit of joy for you to end the week. You are currently top, I believe, unless this has changed with
Am I
bonus
still top?
upgrades. Maybe the bonuses might have come in since we started the show, so I don't know if the league's changed. The best thing about this is Jack thinks he's brilliant at fantasy and he's sitting in fourth.
Hey, you know full well Jack can't watch this because he's on holiday and Callum's going to tell him straight away.
Yeah, Callan can tell you that's why I did it. Jack started with the joy,
Yeah,
being the only winner in the Owls group, and now he's sitting in fourth in the league. So I'm just have to make sure that we bring him down a little level. But Stocky's sitting top at the minute. Samir hasn't even joined yet for some weird reason.
I'm not even on fantasy. I didn't even know this was happening.
Sam, who is an original owl, who no longer comes on the show, but he was one of the originals when we first started, and then Jack and John. So anybody watching, if you want the link to join, I will put it in the description if you want to join in on our league. But any more people?
I know. I'm quite fuming. I didn't know about this. How many points you
No,
got?
not that I can think of. We've covered this weekend pretty well.
Yeah. I think we
Go
have.
again.
I can't believe I'm top on the fantasy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I
Let me check what's happened since the thingies have been added in, because it changes once they put bonuses in, doesn't it, late in the evening?
Right.
Where do I sleep?
Yeah, I'm a proper.
We're bang level on points.
Okay, fair enough.
We've both now got 289. Jack's still fourth though, so that bit hasn't changed.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to save enough money to get rid of the West Ham players I have in mind.
Oh, fair enough. But that's it for us tonight. Me and Stocky will be back tomorrow on the pitch, Monday pitch on Spurs Kings TV at 9:30. I will also be back on Wednesday at 9:30 on the Rivals. Next Saturday, let me just make sure I get this right because I've got these wrong a few times. No, it's not. It's Sunday. So next Sunday at 3:00, we will be doing pre-game Newcastle Arsenal. And I feel like it might be an occasion to have more than one or two. I might try and get one of my friends Chinks to come and join us. Samir, if you're about, get involved. Same with you, Stocky. We can run a 4-man pre-game Newcastle Arsenal, which kicks off at 4:30 next Saturday. But we're
Let's
going
go.
to be at 3:00.
Biggest game.
Like I've been saying to all the Arsenal fans this whole season, game week 6. Next weekend now. Game week 6 is here. Bring it on. Ginesta, thank you, sir. Tuned into both shows today, so we really appreciate your support. Much love. Take care, people.
See you later.
Yeah.